Thank you.
We're just warming up here, folks. It's, trying to get our sound set.
We don't warm it up. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm just going to tune.
There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Jupiter, where we start on time and end on time because we respect your time. And I know that that's one thing we can't give back. But thank you all for choosing to come here this morning. I went to the United Methodist service this morning, and the service was called Peacemakers or Peacemakers. P-E-A-C-E or P-I-E-C-E. Do we bring our world together, or do we pull it apart, putting it into pieces? Well, I think we're the peacemakers, the P-E-A-C-E, and we're the rare ones. So let's be sure that we establish our peace here, and then when we go out into the world, we shine it. So let peace be with you. And now I'd like to share, if no one's told you today they love you, let me be the first. I love you, and I offer you peace that passes all understanding. So please offer it to each other now as we connect together in unity. This is like the bad boy section over here. The gamblers. So anyway, if you will join me with our statement of faith found on the monitor. There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. So take that inside. One power and one presence. It's our choice whether we use it correctly or incorrectly. So we choose to use it for goodness, for kindness, for all the stuff that brings us together, for unity. And we know God is omniscient, all-knowing. He knows every thought in our mind. Omnipresent, everywhere present at the same time. There's no place where God is not. And omnipotent, the one power and one presence. So let us use to learn it right. And if you'll join me with our affirmation today, I am a being of light. I am a being of light. As I've learned about these telepathy tapes the last few weeks, and even really our prayer life, there's two parts of us. We have our physical being and our light being, and we are truly beings of light. And we're letting that light shine in the world and making this world a little better place. Today I'd like to give a shout out, a special shout out, but I don't see him here, but to Nick Nappy. And Nick has just, we have some other prayers to say too for Sam and Mary Sue, and we've had a couple people under the weather this week, but Nick just steps up over and over, just all week long for fellowship. He's like the secret agent around here and really keeps it going. But I just want to say thank you so much to him, and if someone sees him, tell him we did that. And I'd also like to thank our musical guest today, the Gypsy Strings Revival, for coming again. Again, I'm just so grateful for our live music and our, and especially for Kathy to just arrange it week after week, the amazing things. So now, if you'll rise, we'll sing our opening song, My Soul is Welcome Here.
at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
One, two, three. Honeybees are gonna be humming, guitar strings are gonna be strumming when I'm back in my baby's arms again. Happy wheels are gonna be spinning, all the folks are gonna be grinning when I'm back in my baby's arms again. No more tears are gonna be falling, I done heard my true love calling. Open arms are waiting yonder round the bend. Rivers of honey are gonna be flowing, big sweet flowers are gonna be growing when I'm back in my baby's arms again. Voices of love are gonna be talking, hand in hand we're gonna be walking when I'm back in my baby's arms again. Big old swings are gonna be swinging, water springs are gonna be springing when I'm back in my baby's arms again. No more tears are gonna be falling, I done heard my true love calling. Open arms are waiting yonder round the bend. Rivers of honey are gonna be flowing, big sweet flowers are gonna be growing when I'm back in my baby's arms again. home. I done heard my true love calling. Open arms are waiting yonder round the bend. Rivers of honey are gonna be flowing. Big sweet flowers are gonna be growing when I'm back in my baby's arms again. When I'm back in my baby's arms again.
Well, that'll raise your vibration a little bit, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. And good afternoon, Unity. Welcome, everyone. I am so glad that you're here today. I am Sherry Sova. I am your board president. Is there anyone here for the first time today? Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Please keep your hand up. The ushers have a little welcome packet for you. We do want you to know that we not only want you to feel welcome, but we want you to feel wanted. So please join us after the service in Fellowship Hall for some good food and good conversation. And today is Birthday Sunday. So on the first Sunday of each month, we honor those born during the month. So anyone born during the month of March, please stand up so we can sing happy birthday and celebrate you. And that always means cake, too, so please join us in Fellowship Hall. Today's daily word is positivity. So please read from the monitor with me. Through positivity, I can do all things through the divine presence within me. I've heard it said, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. These words show me the importance of positivity and how an upbeat attitude can keep me afloat upon the rough waters of life. Positivity helps me see the world as full of joy and possibility. Difficulties may arise, but my confident faith in the goodness of God gives me the power to cross the stormy seas to find calm waters and the warmth of sunshine. The light of God surrounds me, enfolds me, and uplifts me. When I center my thoughts on the divine within, I feel equipped to meet all challenges. God's indwelling grace sees me through the stormy days. Even in squalls of sadness, when squalls of sadness toss about me, my faith I will outlast the gales and reach calm seas again. Today's daily word is inspired by Proverbs 4, verse 23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. All right, we have a few announcements. There's a lot going on this week and this month. So this Friday evening at 7 p.m. in the all-purpose room, join Carolyn Cohen for the monthly Healing Circle. Carolyn provides education about ways to live healthier lifestyle, mentality, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This is a very popular event, and it is held the first Friday of each month, and a love offering is requested. Next week, back by popular demand, Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer. Yes! Bob and Shannon will be here next Sunday, March 9th, and will do the message on Sunday as well as the music at our service. And they're doing a concert after the service from 1:30 to 3. So if you love conscious music, don't miss this one. Flyers are available in the foyer. Joy Adel and Stacy McDonald are hosting the Sound Circle Meditation class on Saturday, March 29th at 1 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. Bring a bottle of water, a yoga mat, a blanket, and a pillow. All are welcome, and a love offering is requested. Exciting news, March 30th, the Unity Community Sunday will be with Reverend John Denny, and Reverend Diane Robinson is coming back right here at Unity of Jupiter. That's right, Reverend Diane Robinson will be joining us once again, and Perry Stokes will be our music that day. So let's pack out the pews and make this a huge Sunday to remember. Bring a friend, bring lots of friends. And in April, Sunday, April 13th, is New Member Sunday. If you are interested in becoming a member of Unity of Jupiter, there are applications in the foyer. To be on our board of directors or to vote on church matters is our congregational meetings. You must be a member of the church. Becoming a member involves attending an orientation meeting and the new member ceremony at the church on that Sunday. You may leave the application in the office, give it to any one of us board members, or to Carol. And also in April, Ocean View United Methodist Church is having an Easter sunrise service on April 20th at 6:30 a.m. with a breakfast to follow. All are welcome to attend. We're also going to be with them, but we will be having our regular noon service as well. They are looking for volunteers to help out. If you would like to volunteer with their service or their breakfast, there are forms in the foyer to sign up. Leave your volunteer sign-up sheet in the basket along with the forms, or see Carol to give your volunteer form. And please join us today for Connection and Fellowship after the service. If you are new, just follow the people across the hall to the Fellowship Hall. And thank you to everyone that does provide food for our fellowship, those who serve, clean up, make it all possible, and that does include Nick Nappy. So we do appreciate everything that Nick does to help us out. And ongoing this week, A Course in Miracles meets on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Yoga and somatic class is Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. The prayer and meditation group meets on Wednesdays at noon. The Healing Circle meets this Friday at 7 p.m. That's once a month. And the Harmony exercise every Sunday morning at 11:15, and our Sunday service is at noon. All of our class flyers and the March calendar are in the foyer with the list of classes. And now, to lead us into meditation, let us all join in singing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush of angels' wings. I feel glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
So I just sort of invite you to take a deep breath and go inside. And go inside to that place where God is and I am. The kingdom of God is within each and every one of us. And when we go inside, we bring the thoughts of truth. And we leave out all the things of the world. So we go inside with no worries, no fears. And when we go inside, all things are possible. Every thought, every desire. And we renew our minds and transform our lives. So take a deep breath and realize, I am love. Feeling that feeling of love. I love you. Just feel that inside. God is love. So when we feel and acknowledge and accept this love, we are becoming in contact with God. And let us realize gratitude. I am grateful. There's always something to be grateful for. And what we're grateful for expands. So using that thought of gratitude, I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Feel that feeling of gratitude. And let us use forgiveness. First, accepting it. I am forgiven. Saying that to yourself. Accepting it for yourself. I am forgiven. Because we were never condemned. We only condemn ourselves. So we accept this forgiveness. Knowing that with God we are a majority. Each and every one of us. And let's take this power of God, this power of light, and send it out. From our unity community here, we send out this power of love to all of Juno Beach and Jupiter, to Palm Beach County in the state of Florida, to the United States of America and the planet Earth. We send universal harmony to all the war-torn countries, to all the people using this power incorrectly. We send them love. We send them peace. And if there's anyone in your life that you hold any judgments or resentments against, name that person in your mind, sending them universal harmony, the power of God working through us, the power of unconditional love. We always have a choice of what we want to send out. So let us make it love and not hate and not anger. I love you. And now to finish this time of prayer and meditation, please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who've trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And now, please welcome our Gypsy Strings Revival back up.
Well, I stumbled in the darkness, lost and alone. When I say I'd go before us and show the way back home, is there a light oh, very long. Forgive me, pretty baby, but I always find the long way home. Money's just something you throw out the back of a train, a pipe full of lightning and a hat full of rain. But I know that I said I'd never do it again. Forgive me, pretty baby, but I always come a long way home. I put food on the table and a roof overhead, but I traded all tomorrow for the highway instead. And I know that I said I'd never do it again. Always find the long way home. I love you, baby, more than the whole wide world. I'm your woman, and you know you are my pearl. So let's go out past the party lights. We can finally be alone. Come with me forever. We can find the long way home. We can find a long way home.
Oh, thank you so much. Be together. Let's give them another round of applause. Yeah, we're so lucky to have one musician, but then we have four, and it's just incredible. Well, thank you again all for coming. I am still absolutely on fire. I watched my talk last week, and I was like, whoa, John, calm down a little bit. I was just trying to get so much out, but I'm so inspired by these telepathy tapes. It's just been unbelievable. So I know what you're all thinking. Actually, I don't yet, but I will soon. So that's going to be my point here. But one way we do know that our thoughts are being answered is answered prayers. And I'm just seeing result. This room is answered prayers. Even though some of us walked in here at first and it was like, whoa, this is kind of big. Now it's like just feels so great, and this whole campus feels great. And I got to believe those were answered prayers, you know. And there's just so many things that happen in our lives which are a direct result of what we've asked for and what we've thought about. Sometimes we get what we don't want. But faith, I always say faith is the connecting link between hoping and knowing. Now, I've always known that my prayers work. I've always had that sort of feeling inside. I've known it. But after listening to these telepathy tapes, I know that I know now. I know that our thoughts are being heard. Our thoughts and our words are being felt by everyone around us. We're constantly changing the vibration of our little circle here. And so we have to raise it and raise it and raise it. So one thing I've learned about these telepathy tapes is all of us, every single person, is telepathic. It's like a spectrum. It's a telepathy spectrum. One side is not being used, the other side fully telepathic, right? So last week when this whole telepathy tapes is about autistic non-speaking or non-vocal autistic children. Not non-verbal, they're very verbal because they just have the words inside. So when I started to learn about this population, I've known about them for a while because we've worked with them on the beaches and things like that, and I've always had sympathy. I've always felt sorry for these individuals. Well, now I'm jealous. If someone told me they were on the spectrum last week, I felt sorry for them. Now I feel jealous about them. I'm like, oh, I wish I was a little more on the spectrum, because we're getting a little bit more tapped in. We're getting rid of our human barriers of judgment, of anger, of all these things, of greed that we put out there that disconnect us from this incredible power that we can connect to over and over, which really gives us those powers of telepathy, gives us the power of prayer. My belief system, and I talk about this all the time, we have to change our belief system, our deep inner belief system. Mine has been completely changed. My whole belief system about the autistic population has been completely changed. I believed one thing a week ago, now I believe something else completely. And that's how fast we can change our belief system. It can happen instantaneously, basically. So we've all had telepathic experiences. When you think about someone and they call you in like the next 10 or 15 minutes, that's not chance. The parking space that we create, that we all joke about, that's not chance either. Thinking of a song, have a song in your mind, you get in your car and you turn on the radio and it's playing. These kind of little things have happened to all of us, but they're the seeds. That's exactly cause and effect. We don't realize it because we think it's coincidence, but it's not. It's actually cause and effect. Last week I had to drive to Boca Raton and meet someone down there and pick something up, and I needed some cash. And I was like, there's going to be a Bank of America right where I'm going. I'm not going to have to go out of my way or anything. And I don't know Boca, but I drove off, and right at the store I had to go to, across the street, Bank of America. And I'm just like, it never ends. And again, we can chalk it up to coincidence, but it's not. My Uncle Michael told me a story, and then we say, oh, I was just thinking that when we're with our significant other, I was just thinking that same thing. Or, remember we always, as kids, we'd say jinx when two people said the same word at the same time? I talked to my Uncle Michael the other day, and we're talking about telepathy. And he said that my mother called him one time, and she had to get a hold of their mother. And Michael said, well, we don't have a phone number, but I can get a hold of her. And so he went into prayer, and she called him within 10 minutes. And he told me later, he goes, it wouldn't have worked if it had been for me, if I'd wanted to get a hold of my mother because of my selfish things. But since I wanted to get a hold of her for my sister, it worked perfectly. So there's a couple little do's and don'ts, but one is selflessness. Completely unselfish acts. This week I made 8 years alcohol-free, okay? Now, I really don't, God deserves the hand, not me, because I didn't do it. I tried a lot of times and never worked, right? But this time I had been meditating for a year, and that was relieved. Well, this week someone gave me a chip, and it was like, it has this beautiful triangle on it, and on the triangle it says unity, it says service, and it says recovery. I'm thinking about more like unity, service, and reconnection. That's what happens when we start to pray and develop these telepathic skills. We become one, we become unity because we're all one in mind anyway. We become of service because suddenly we're caring about other people more than ourselves, and we reconnect. So this unity community weekend, the pack the pews, the whole concept of that is this incredible connection that we're having here. Over and over, week after week, we're seeing it more and more. It's incredible. So I know I've referred to myself as a mugwump before, right? A mugwump is someone who won't take a political side, a fence sitter, just won't take a side. And this week when I was listening to the telepathy tapes, I learned about muggles. And the muggles are the people in Harry Potter who don't have magic. They're the non-magic people. And some of the non-speakers jokingly refer to us as the muggles. These people who are out here basically almost turning off our magic. So the Muggles are a person who, they're a member of a non-magical community, the ordinary people. See, I don't think we're ordinary at all. But I think to be truly in harmony and truly connected to others, you can't really take a side. Because once I go over there, I'm becoming a peacemaker, right? Because I want my pieces together, I don't really care about theirs. Once I go over to that side, I'm again a peacemaker, P-I-E-C-E, right? But we want to be in the middle. We want to be peacemakers. I want to love all my friends on the right. I want to love all my friends on the left. I want to love people. I don't care what they believe inside. And hopefully, they'll be able to change their belief systems too and become happier and using these things more and more. So what are the possibilities of us developing our telepathic skills? And again, we develop them right in prayer. We don't have to go that far. If we're praying, we are believing in telepathy already. So what are the possibilities? Well, the possibilities are, it seems almost endless. The ability to read minds and to know, to be able to sort of know what's coming in the future so we can be guarded, to speak, go to bed speaking one language and wake up speaking two. Now that's an extreme, but access to universal mind. So there's a couple of things I heard about from my mentor. One was called Universal Mind, another's called the Akashic Records. But universal mind is a concept that suggests that all shared consciousness connects all of us beings. It's also known as universal consciousness. So this is when we go into that kingdom and we're all praying together. I believe that we're going to that space of our universal mind. And the Akashic Records are a concept that describes a collection of information about every thought, every word and action that has ever taken place. They are believed to be stored in the mental plane. So the Akashic Records is we already know your history and your future. You already know everything about us. And not only that, about all humanity. So these kids can tap into those things. That's how they can, basically get all the information out of a book. They asked one boy, how do you know all about Harry Potter? He said, my sister read it. So he knew just from his sister reading it, he was able to bring in all that information. Another thing is this ability to talk to spirits or be able to connect with those who have gone to the other side, who have passed on, and that they're very much still alive and they're very much being able to communicate. So I went out to California one year, and I had, over a 36-hour period, I had 5 coincidences that happened between 2 and 3 miles on my GPS. And they happened in different cities, all up and down from LA down to San Diego. And they happened over and over. But they were such coincidences that I knew in my mind it couldn't be happening through me. There had to be something going on from the other side. And I even started to laugh at him. I'm like, you're conducting this, aren't you? And in a way, it's sort of strange, but it's comforting in a way that it's like, okay, well, that's proof that it doesn't stop here. That's how I've always felt about it. Talking to animals, the way we communicate with animals, horses, parrots, dogs. They tested it with multiple people, and what they found, they did one study where they'd send the owner of the dog out to do his day. As soon as that person started thinking about coming back to his house, the dogs would get up and start looking out the window. They could be 5 miles away. That's how powerful our thoughts are, but we pick them up too. But because of all of our filters and all of our judgments and all this stuff we put in our way, we don't have that open communication. I hope all of us are sort of removing those barriers and getting a little bit more. So how do we develop it? Well, I don't really know, but I can guess. And my guess is we're developing it right here in the power of prayer, through prayer, our Unity's 4th principle, prayer and meditation. Unity's 3rd principle, thoughts are things. Understanding that our thoughts are going to change the way we feel as soon as I think it. I don't have to say it. That's why I'm extra careful about my thoughts this past week. And I think I'm going to be extra careful about them going into the future too. Because I know just as quick as I think it, it's going to affect another person. I don't have to say it. That's why, man, I'm telling you, gossip, and I'm guilty, but you find yourself talking about someone behind their back, you're going to be sending the vibrations to them. They're receiving it, guaranteed. So when that person comes up to you and it doesn't feel quite right next time, maybe you just think, oh, well, yeah, maybe I'm feeling what I was saying about you coming back at me. So how do we know prayer works? Well, I'm looking at the answer to answered prayer right now. Each one of these bodies is answered prayer to me. This room, this church, our fellowship, all the things coming together is, there's no other explanation than answered prayer. So Charles Fillmore said we have a little different meaning when we say let us pray. We all know God is omnipotent. We know omnipresent. We know God is present everywhere. And our minds are open to that inner communication that we all hope will make that contact as a result. And what is the contact we want to make? Oneness, unity, connection. We want to bring ourselves together, not apart. We want to be peacemakers, not peacemakers. We want to be bringing us together. The understanding of the mind comes in play when one has true prayer. The understanding of the mind will come into play when someone has true prayer. When we pray in truth and really from that place, then we'll get to know. We'll have the understanding. Think about that. So how do we develop telepathy? We practice praying more and more. When we see the answers to our prayers, we get the results that telepathy works. So we're entering in the realm of this omnipresent being, putting away all those external thoughts. Basically, we enter into heaven, becoming one with that kingdom which the great Master Jesus said is within you, the kingdom of heaven. It'll be done on earth as it is in heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within us. So however it's done in heaven, I'm going to see it. If I like it, I thought the right thing. If I didn't like it, I thought the wrong thing. But we have to be responsible for those thoughts because they change our feelings immediately. So God created the abundance awaiting our acceptance. We already have it. It's simply a matter of realizing and accepting it. We must not only ask, but we must know that we have received. Through prayer, so this is practicing our telepathy, through prayer we come into the power of mastery, control, dominion, which belongs to every one of us, and that mastery is over our thoughts themselves. And once we get mastery over our thoughts, then we get mastery over our feelings. If we can get control of our mind, then we get control of our emotions and our feelings, and then everything comes a lot easier. Paul said he was lifted up to the third heaven, and he saw unutterable things which he couldn't explain. And he said, I don't think I'm boasting or bragging about this because virtually I don't even understand it. He said, but he came to the realization of another world, and that other world is our spiritual world. It is the world of thought. And we want them to run parallel. He came to the realization there was another world. So what do we have to do to become more telepathic? Well, the first thing we have to do is create a loving, kind environment where people don't judge and support each other 100%. Well, I hope that's what we're doing here. I see a lot of people being supported in this ministry. I see it being a place of love, of non-judgment, and a place where we can sort of practice that very thing. But we have to create a loving, kind world where we put others, people's needs before ourselves. He said it's most important is knowing the message of love. Love and helping others has to be more important than serving yourself. And one of the boys from the telepathy tape says, my job on earth is to make all earth hear that God is love, so great a love that no one will have any need to fear, even when they sink into the depths. He said, you don't get the kind of gifts that we have if you tell lies. So we want to be very careful. People with anger and hate don't communicate. Anger and hate shut off telepathy. So let's think Christ's thoughts. Let's radiate the love, truth, and peace, that gentleness, that kindness, that health and harmony which belong to us under divine law and is manifest to us this day through the power of the Holy Spirit. So, in 1990, there was 1 in 10,000 people had this diagnosis of non-speaking autism. Right now, it's 1 in 43. I thought for a long time this was an environmental problem. Now I'm thinking it's a spiritual, paradigm or spiritual. It's almost like they're coming to save us from ourselves. Because they need to be taken care of, yet they can teach us the highest lessons at the same time. So what can we do about it? Well, let's try to develop those skills. How? By being loving and kind and as nice as we can to everyone we come in contact with. Humanity has called for, we need a new human mentality. Future humans have to be thinking differently. Barry tells me I always think differently. She's like, you're out of your mind. What were you thinking? But I do think differently, and hopefully we learn to think not like normal people, but learn at this higher spiritual realm. Few there be that find it. So creating a loving, kind environment, and there's a new definition of love. They asked the lady who made the tapes, what is love? And she said, love is anything that unifies. Anything that unifies. Anything that brings us together. I love that explanation. I love that. So the purpose of life is to grow out of our human desires and get to the point where we're thinking of unity, love, and connection. God's most important message, according to Neil Donald Walsh, was, you've got me all wrong. So why is this happening now? And from one of the boys, no change in humanity will come until humanity can realize that we are all mutually connected to each other. Oneness, unity. I really think that is what the Fillmore's main message was, and really the message of this entire movement of trying to make us come together instead of pull apart, to be peacemakers instead of peacemakers. So be very mindful that we're about to go through a big shift in consciousness. I really believe that. This telepathy tape past Joe Rogan is the #1 telepathy tape in the world right now. And she was just on Joe Rogan on Wednesday. I think I was one of the first 10,000 listeners, and by the time I finished listening, there was 250,000 listeners in 2 hours. This is going to wake people up. And hopefully it wakes them up to this world of proper thinking and proper action. So like I said, we can change our belief system. I have completely done it, and I know that it can happen like that. It's hard to say I was wrong sometimes, but we can really change our belief system. And then just make that assumption, like I said last week. Don't only assume everyone can hear your thoughts. We are all telepathic, and even if they can't hear your thoughts, I'll promise you they can feel your thoughts. And it doesn't take much, because you're going to feel that feeling of someone's deep inner thoughts. You can't hide them. I love that saying. I can't hear a word you're saying because who you are is shouting so loud. They can't hide who they truly are with words or anything else. So let's keep that question in our mind as we go through life. What would love do now? As we go into any situation, just put yourself in that. What would love do now? Probably not gossip or anger or hate. So let us pray. So I just want to give thanks for the opportunity of this knowledge coming forth, coming out of universal mind into each of our minds right here, right now. Knowing that loving kindness is the highest thing that we can possibly do. Because God is love. And being kind to each other is truly showing an act of love. So thank you all for coming. Go out this week and spread that love to each and every person that you can find, even the people who might not deserve it as much. Have a great week, and thank you so much for coming.
John, I just got to thank you because you're teaching us the unity principles on how to think, but your vision is what is helping us create this too. So thank you so much, John. And also, our message is getting out there too. John was written up in the Palm Beach, Florida Weekly this week. There was a great article, so if you have not seen it or read it, please see it. And thank you to Joe Maltese for setting that up. So our message in our community is getting out there. All right. So now, as we move into our celebration of abundance, it is our opportunity to give back from our financial abundance. There are many ways to give. You can drop your gift off in the offering bags that will be coming around. You can also text your donation to 561-581-1119 or give by debit or credit card after today's service in the office located downstairs. Many of these options can be set up for automatic recurring giving. And to keep our time of giving sacred, I would like you to now take your gift in your hand and bless it. You are planting the seeds to your own prosperity and giving back to God from the abundance that has already been provided to you. Breathe life into your gift and thank God that you have this gift to give. And now affirm with me the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
One was crooked, one was straight. Crimson bark and emerald needles growing day by day. Though they look so different, they enjoyed the rain the same side by side. The chickadee told them all the darkness on the land. Spinning braids that came to visit, carried by a man. Every other tree would see them cut down where they stand by and by. Oh, can't you see, crooked tree, roll fit into the mill machine. They'll let it grow wild and free. I'd rather be a crooked tree. Perfect trees were driven down the mountain to the mill. Turned them into toothpicks and $20 bills. along the way. Like the crooked tree, I'm growing stronger day by day as the clouds roll by. A river never wanders why it flows around the bend. The mountain never question how it grows up from the land. So who am I to wish I wasn't just the way I am? Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine? They'll have to grow wild and free. I'd rather be a crooked tree. A crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine. They'll have to grow wild and free. I'd rather be a crooked tree. Yeah, I'd rather be a crooked tree.
Thank you, guys. How lucky are we to have music like that, you know? Thank you so much. And how lucky are we to have people like you? So if we could bring our gifts forward and our prayer requests, if we have any prayer chaplains in town, our prayer chaplains have been specially trained to pray with you. Now just take a breath and give a thought of thanks. Again, gratitude seems to be the connecting link to us and God. When we're truly grateful, we can really connect in love. So let us give thanks for all the gifts today, seeing them multiplied in abundant supply, enough and to spare for every need of this ministry. And we see each person in this room as abundant supply, enough and to spare for your particular needs. Always. And let us take all the prayers from this prayer box and we put them into God's hands. We know God is omniscient, already knowing the answer to all these prayers. But for our doubt and our fear, we place them into this prayer box, putting them into God's hands, removing the worry and the fear, and we say, thank you, God, for answered prayers. We've seen them over and over. And now, if you'll all rise, join hands, we'll sing the peace song, followed by the prayer for protection.